All right, I'm Darnell. No, I'm Darnell, bro. I'm doing the interview. All right. Um, all right. So the first question, the first two questions will be around background and connection. So, what draws you to NBA YoungBoy's music compared to other rappers? What makes him stand out?
I feel like his music just gravitates to me. Um, I feel like his upbringing, his voice on certain songs, his versatility. It just brings me to closer to him, to his music. Like I feel like everything that he's saying, like he's not lying. I feel like it's genuine music. Um, and he has a song for like every feeling, every situation.
Bet. All right. Second question: how often do you listen to him, and in what situations? Like when you're alone, when you're stressed, when you're mad, or like maybe any situation. It don't matter.
I listen to him about like probably like 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay.
And it depends. It's like non situational. It's not like certain times. Just if I feel it, then I just play it with people. Whether my friends are here, whether I'm by myself, whether I'm trying to study.
All right. All right. All right. The next three questions will be based on mental health impact. Have any of his songs help you cope with like stress, sadness, anger, like anxiety, or any of those, and explain how?
Nah, it never helped me cope with nothing. I'm keep it a buck. It
I
just
bet,
sounds good. Yeah.
bet. Are there any times when his music negatively affects your mood?
No.
Oh, gotcha. Do you feel understood or represented when listening to his lyrics?
Um. I would say I feel represented in some of the parts where he talks about like Muslims or he references that, so I feel like he represents that you know part of me.
All right, the next two set of the questions is gonna be on like behavioral influence, how his music like affects your behavior. So, have his lyrics ever changed the way you view violence, relationships, success, or like anything?
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he talks about making it to the top and the misconceptions behind that, and the depression and you know the longing for love that comes with that. Money can't solve everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with that, it's like man, he just teaches you a lesson while he's talking. He's living this life, and he's also what makes it so good is that he's young. He's like he understands the stuff that people, so younger people would be going through. So I feel like he's made the mistakes already that a lot of our parents have told us to stray away from, and he puts it in his rap. So I feel like I definitely learned a lot about life in general just from listening to him.
All right. Do you think his music motivates you in positive ways or negative ways, or maybe
I feel like
both?
he motivates me positively. I've never took any of his like more violent songs, to heart. I'm not a person who tries to mix the artist with their music too much. Like I'm not gonna just because he says killing is cool or I did this to my op or anything like that. Like I'm not gonna go apply that to my daily life because I'm my own person, so I don't get that mixed up. But um, yeah, I don't think it ever really like affected my behavior really negatively. But uh, yeah, sometimes when you go through a heartbreak or you just like stay away from certain girls or stay away from this, stay away from that. Like I feel like that kind of had an effect on my behavior on some of the choices I made, like picking the people I want to be around with.
Okay. Okay. All right, so the next two set of questions is gonna be based off of like it's gonna be focused on low income communities. You know how he comes from the gutter. You feel me?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so do you relate to
yeah.
NBA YoungBoy's background or life experiences? Why or why not?
Yeah, good question. Yeah. Man, that's tough. I would say I do resonate, but struggle is so it's just like so hard to grasp because it's one story. Someone could be rich and still struggle, but that's their struggle. So everybody's struggle is their struggle. But when we're talking about, when we're talking about in America, the lower income and tenement housing, like projects and stuff like that, he lived in lower income houses and things like that, which I live in myself. So I do resonate with the fact that sometimes you don't always eat 5-star meals and you don't always eat good all the time, and coming up and seeing some of the things in your environment and it affecting you in any way that you take it, whether your mom is there present or not, or your father is there present or not, it affects your life. And he took the route of just sticking to his environment, and I didn't. So I definitely resonate with him with his upbringing and how there was a lot of choices that you can make, but there's only one choice. It's either you in or you out, and I chose out. So
Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, like you don't like. So would you say like? Would you say like for her it's like violent music, his gang music and stuff? Like, do you think that like maybe influenced you to not be inside the gang life? Like you might like perceive it as that probably.
I'm not gonna lie, his music made me want to get into gang life. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like let's be realistic. He makes it sound cool, but at the end of the day, as he grown up and as he got older and he started to go through phases of his life where he went through the stop the violence phase, and yeah, I'm not a gangster, I'm not anything, I'm just a human being. That's why I mess with him so much, because he goes through phases in life where he grows up mentally, and you can see it in his music has grown with him. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like his music really, like the younger or the more earlier music, it definitely would like influence a kid to, try and maybe get into the streets because he makes it sound good. But as you start to listen to him more and more, he starts to advocate on, not being in the streets and start and just being yourself and doing what you love to do.
All right. Do you think listeners from low income communities experiences music differently than others that are not from low income communities or maybe got it better than those people?
Yeah, because they didn't. I feel like they didn't see what he saw, and they can't experience the pain, and they can't experience some of the experience that he went through. Like he can't, like there's some deep rooted things that has happened to him that nobody will ever under that there's some people that will never understand, or were next to people to understand that. You don't have to be in the hood to understand the pain that someone goes through. Like a New Yorker or a person in Harlem who's living good could also understand the struggles of one who's not living as well. But if you're in a high income and haven't really went through some of that, the things that he's talking about, you just can't resonate with it. You can't get with it because it's like it's a whole new world. It's like listening to country music. Like I don't know what he what riding on a horse in a haystack, and I don't know what he's talking about. I can't understand, and I can't resonate with that. And I'm not gonna listen to something that I can't understand or I haven't been through, or I want to feel like I've been through. So yeah.
Okay, last question, reflection.
But yeah.
If someone criticized his music as harmful, like how would you respond back based on your own experiences listening to his music?
I would say you have to know yourself to listen to someone who's trying to find themselves. And when I say that, I say that in the point that, humans are like a sponge. and they soak up more, younger. So I would just say maybe just take your time with him. Not every artist is someone you just step into. These are human beings at the end of the day, and when you're introducing yourself to their music, you're introducing yourself to them, their personalities, their inner thoughts. YoungBoy has said it himself that he uses music as therapy to talk and to get some of his thoughts out. Some of the things that he's saying are things he's actually went through and been through. And I feel like somebody who's not in tune with their inner selves will try to imitate what they listen to, imitate what they hear, and be someone that they're not. Um, because it sounds cool, like, because it makes them feel well. Whilst at the end of the day, YoungBoy's making money. He's not gonna do this if he's not making money. It's just the facts. He loves it, but it's about money. So, what I would say is, find yourself. Then you can listen to whatever you want to listen to. You can listen to emo rock. You can listen to punk. You can listen to R&B. As long as you know yourself, uh, then I feel like you can explore any realm of music. But he definitely speaks some harmful things in some of his songs, and he speaks some good things in some of his songs. So I can't tell you to just listen to one side of him because that's just nitpicky. But yeah, I would say just find yourself and you'll be all right. Be in tune with yourself, and the music can't affect you. It would just yeah.
All right, beautiful interview, man. I appreciate you coming on to the set, man. Feel me? DJ Vlad out.